Good evening, traders, and welcome to another live post-market recap where we give you guys the inside scoop on what we did in the StockX trading room. We also share our strategy and technique and also give a little bit about our predictions so that way you guys know what's happening moving forward. So once again, we had another awesome day. If you guys are following on our social media calls, you guys know that we're always killing it, and that's because of the benefit of the STX option pricing model. But before I get into it, I just want to share a couple of details here in terms of our analysis. So as you guys may already know, I give my prediction to my team that I don't really share with the outside crowd. Sometimes I feel extra nice, but I actually don't. So I give my market sentiment report, basically showing you this little chart here, which you see here. Now, the key thing that I want to focus on here today is pretty much tell you, where SPX starts to accelerate. Okay, so through my option pricing model, I can find out key levels. When option premiums reach those levels, it tells me when the level is likely to cause a spike up or spike down, and you also know exactly when the range is a chop range and whatnot. Okay, this is critical and also game changer for anyone that always has no idea on what to do during the specific situations here. Okay, so as you guys can see over here, we see that our chop bearish range here is at 45.93, 45.72, and I mentioned here 4600 holds. We're likely to test 46.35, and the hold is key. So we held that, which is key reason why we went higher. Now the bullish breakout, so as you guys know, SPX had a slow grind to the top here, and that's where it hit that 46.35. Now I personally believe that we're going to see 46.70 possibly by open, and that's our estimated weekly high. So just to show you the transparency here, this is my market sentiment report in my channel here. You can see that here was on Sunday, and boom, that's where the chart here, exactly what you see over here. And not to mention that as well, I've been on top of my game. I predict in the last 2 weeks since I've been doing this and showing it out in the open, I've predicted this nonstop. And also, I also have continuous details of all the times where I predicted the market top or thing. So the reason why I'm really monitoring this and check marking is to make sure that people understand that this model is accurate. I want to make sure people get the word and understand that there's a strong history behind everything that you see here. Okay, now besides all of that, we had an awesome day as well too. Because SPX was slow grinder mode, I mentioned to my team, and I even mentioned it on Twitter, that I believe that SPX, it wasn't a good idea to pretty much swing SPX overnight, because our model predicted that that it wasn't a good idea to swing because of the CPI report, which came in, was likely to be flat here. So if we go through our details over here, I pretty much confirmed that in this part over here. Okay, so if you guys look at my Twitter, I said December 11th, which was yesterday, I said tomorrow's, I don't see a reading that my model is worthy to swing calls or puts, so we didn't get it. And exactly that's what happened. We didn't swing calls or puts. The 4650 calls that we had that day lost all its value. But besides all that, that's through the model. It pretty much gives us that idea on what we're looking at in that terms of view. Okay. Today we did actually get a little bit of bump up on the reading here. So let's see if we see the SPX go through that key level. Now another thing in terms of the key wins here, so we had a flawless day with our trades so far. So if we look through our wins here, we can see we had a winner on SPX 46.35s. These actually went a lot higher, but it was a slow move, so we decided to sell them. They were up at around 50% at one point, but we sold them a little bit early, and at that time it was a good one because they went back to break even. We had the 46.70 calls as well, which we have for tomorrow, and we still have them at this time. And we have Broadcom as well. I also mentioned in my morning notes. So if we go over here, sorry, in my morning notes, I mentioned that we like Tesla puts 235s. And what do we do here? We got Tesla puts right off the bat here. And we bought the Tesla puts 9:30 a.m. and we scored this winner here as well. So another awesome day. And if you look through my tracker here as well, just to be transparent with everyone here. So I currently have these SPX trade open. These are not losses. These are just open trades. So these are the open trades here. But besides the open trades here, you can pretty much see the only red things that you see red here are the trades that I have open. And this is the beginning of the week. So pretty much flawless week so far. And we've been crushing it as well. Okay. So definitely members are killing it as well with everything going on. Now, our inflection point, we had the first inflection point at 46.35. Right, we see here that my level 1 bearish was at 46.10 here, and this was exactly the bottom of the day. You can see, boom, it hit this early on. That's where we got out of the Tesla puts, and boom, we start to see the market pull back up in a slow grinding fashion, and you can pretty much see that happen here. Okay, near the end, that's when things start to pick up and we started to go. Okay. Now, tomorrow is the FOMC interest rate announcement here, okay? So, I think that we may see 46.70 happen prior to open here. And since I'm swinging those calls, I want to make sure I've taken the profit before that. I believe into the FOMC interest rate announcement, we're likely to chop here. So, we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on that. And we're going to be watching that in great detail for now, okay? So other than that, I see that, overall the trend is to the upside. There's a lot of calls being bought. A lot of people on Twitter are getting super bullish, but the expectations is that the overall rate announcement is going to be no interest rate hike as well. There is a chance that they may sell the news on the interest rate announcement, so you do want to be careful at that. I'm not going to give an idea about that until we actually see what Powell says and does, okay? Because there is a wild card that can really cause the market to go to our extreme 47.55, and that is if Powell says no more rate hikes and we're done, right? If he confirms that, that is likely to happen. There is a 35 to 50% chance that we could see the market sell the news if Powell says, we're data dependent, okay? The market does not want to hear data dependent no more. We want to hear, are we done? Is no more rate hikes happening next year? That's what the market is betting on. The bond auction that has happened right now, we're seeing yields drop across the board. And the only reason why those bond auctions are accepting lower rates is because the market expects that the Feds are done hiking rates. So very, very critical here, okay? When it comes to FOMC interest rate announcement, if you guys seen me since the beginning, I nail every single FOMC interest rate announcement nonstop. So if you guys want to check me up, look in the details for a trial, because this week will be the last. Tomorrow is the last day for the trials. I'll be accepting because I'm going on a holiday next week. So definitely keep that an eye. So that's all we got for today. Hopefully you guys enjoy the call. I want to make this as quickly and informative as possible. See you guys in the chat, and like always, let's get that money.